Hello and welcome to a team reveal video. It's George from Fantasy Tech TV. Today we'll go over my Supercoach 2023 team in November, so about another 4 months to go. I think the team picker opens in about 6 or 7 weeks, but Herald Sun, if you're watching, go ahead and release it earlier. No one will complain about that, but it is off season, so I hope you're all enjoying the off season, whatever you're doing, going away over Christmas or watching American sports or doing whatever, getting away from the footy. But I think off seasons felt a little long for me. Well, it always does, but always keen to get straight back into it. But yeah, been a while since I've done a video, so this will just be a video. Probably do another one in about a month or so, but we'll see. We'll go through my team, done a bit of a graphic, and not sure on the exact prices, not sure on the exact positions of everyone, but I'll go over those players who I have my doubts on there. I think we'll just start in defense. So I think defense don't really want to pay up usually because a lot of the high-priced defenders, they don't really have the ceilings of the midfielders, so they generally don't go up too much in price when they're, already pretty expensive. And this year, I don't think we've ever had as many expensive defenders. Like a Sinclair and Stewart will be expensive, probably a few others too, Doherty as well. But my D1 and D2, the two anchors in defense, are Sicily and Dawson for now. Sicily, not much upside in the price. Maybe Hawthorn get a bit worse, go backwards, given they've traded out a few senior players. At the price, probably a bit too expensive. But if there's no one else to, we've had a few struggles in defence the past few years, so he stabilises the defence. And I think he'll drop a little bit in price, but I don't think he'll drop too much. Don't think he'll drop too much this year. And Jordan Dawson as well. I think Dawson could move to a wing, score a bit better, but I think he's still, the Crows like the good ball users in the team. They look for Dawson. He calls for the ball. Dawson's in for now. I think he'll be a very popular one. I think he'll be the most popular expensive defender, but we'll see. D3, Nick Dacos. Thought about Himmelberg. I think GWS's ruck stocks are still a bit iffy, and I don't know what happens with the new coach, but Himmelberg's very much a watch, so we can't really decide on him without a lot more information. But Nick Dacos, again, I think they'll use him down back again. Could use him in the middle, but I think they have a lot of senior bodies through there, and I think they probably actually need him down back, and he can always switch positions. But yeah, again, calls for the ball all the time, works really hard. Just a natural talent, good ball user, so disposal should be good. So he's in for now. Second-year player, don't usually select second-year players at this sort of price. For Nick Dacos, I'll make an exception. So see how he goes over the preseason, what his exact role is. D4, D5, D6, all players at new clubs. So Jack Bowes, not sold on him as a player, but Geelong seem to be singing his praises, or they're very impressed with him. Hasn't really started pre-season yet, but they're impressed with him, and they think there's a spot for him in the midfield, so just a watch. Darcy Tucker, not really sold on him either as a player, but had some massive games in the VFL, and I'm not even sure, again, Bowes, I don't know if he'll get defence. I don't even know if Tucker will get defensive status, so see how they go. But Tucker, 220k, pretty cheap, new club at North, might get some opportunity there. They need a few older bodies. I think he's still young, but he's not, not like a fresh out of the draft or anything. So a few years in the system, so I think they'll play him. And then Connor McKenna doesn't have a club at the moment, but wherever he goes, and again, Connor McKenna could be a forward, I'm not sure. So down back, he can do 75 plus. Up forward, not great. Definitely not worth it if he plays forward, but senior body. Been a professional system in Ireland, so coming back, so I think he'll be. A club's not gonna pick him up to play in the VFL, so hopefully he gets picked up and he plays. And then on the bench, I think Wilmot will get games, unless McKenna goes to Brisbane. I think Brisbane are the favourite for McKenna, and then another rookie. So whatever, just see how that goes. I think we'll move into the midfield now. I can just find it. So midfielders. So I've got 8 names here and gone a bit, again, depends on what rookies come through and what mid prices pop up over the preseason, but these are the premium mids I'm looking at the moment, and I'm very unsure about 2 of them. Clayton Oliver I'm quite sure of, so Oliver, 690k, do you start Oliver, do you start Laird, do you start both? Too expensive, or do you even start neither? I think you can get away with that. Oliver, the go-to captain option, high ceiling, gets an extra game at Adelaide Oval most likely, which he loves. with the whole Magic round, so that should be good. I'll probably go see him, go to every bloody game. I think that'll be fun. Probably, I was speaking to someone the other day just about Adelaide. I visited Sydney and I just thought Adelaide is just it feels like a country town. But, there's no real reason to come to Adelaide to holiday. We've got the Barossa Valley, you've got Adelaide Oval, and that's about it. But now we got Magic Round, so come to Adelaide, come say hello. So it should be good. But yeah, I'm going off topic. But Clayton Oliver, captain option, pretty as safe as it gets. Too expensive though, but you pay up. The one position I'm willing to pay out a bit overs for is M1, although I'm paying for Sicily as well. But hopefully not much more to say on Oliver. But move on to Jack Macrae. So with Macrae, no Josh Dunkley, Lib and Treloar, soft tissue injuries towards the end of the year. What happens with Macrae? Do they stuff around with him like Bevo has in 2022? Is he in decline? He's still 28, I think. So I don't think at his price, he could be underpriced, but at the same time, it's hard to tell whether he's in decline. But after he had the break at the end of the year, then he played the final. I thought he looked like the old Jack Macrae, so maybe he needed a spell or something. But no Lockie Hunter. Traditionally, historically, he's played better with Hunter in the team. Who's the Dogs' wingman? What do they actually do there? So I suspect they need him in the guts. They should use him there. Guess we'll monitor that over the preseason, but not too sure on Jack Macrae. M3 Jack Steele should be underpriced. Played through injury a little bit this year with the AC joint issue. Again, clear M1, like not going to have his role stuffed around with M1 at the team. Worst case, around the mark for top 8. Best case, could be M1, M2, M3. So for me, he's a lock. Pretty easy pick. M4 for me is Tom Mitchell. Not sure about this one. Not sure at all. So I think he'll come into Collingwood and, last preseason he looked pretty poor and he didn't play super well, but also didn't get the mid-time that he would have wanted. The CBAs were down. He was starting at half forward and staying there at times. I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to put him in their guts at Collingwood. That's why he's wanted to go to play midfield. For a winning team as well, I suspect Collingwood will have a good year, but you never know. I do really rate Collingwood's premiership chances in 2023, so I think he's underpriced, and I think worst case, he hovers at the price if things go really, really bad. So again, also Collingwood might have the last buy round just because Queen's birthday, but with him with the whole Magic round, I'm not exactly sure if that happens. But so you could trade him out there if it doesn't work out. The Collingwood game plan, I think it's something we'll discuss when we start doing podcasts again and other videos. I don't think they want him to get the cheap possessions like in the back half, but I still think that he can get a lot of the ball inside and take a few marks here and there. Collingwood don't really like to take a lot of marks from what it seems, just try to get it forward as quick as they can. We'll monitor the Collingwood game style in the preseason, see if I guess we kind of know what to expect, but see how Mitchell's used and how much he's used. We'll see the CBA numbers, because in the finals, the Pendlebury CBA numbers were 90 and 80 to 90, some were 90 plus. So they're not afraid to use a midfielder very, very heavily at stoppage, and they really needed a stoppage player. So yeah, stoppage players are Supercoach gold. So we'll see the inside-outside balance, all that, but upside at the price. He is 29, going on 30, so I don't love that. But maybe he's got a bit more miles in the legs. Was held back earlier in his career in the VFL, or the NEFL as it was, and also had the year off with a broken leg. So we'll see. Not sure. At his price, I suspect his ownership will be pretty high. And I don't want to be the one without him, and he does really well. So we'll see. M5, Jacob Hopper, pretty easy one, I think. Should go 90 plus. Played through a bit of injury, had multiple surgeries this year. New club, probably the clear... Is he behind or in front of Prestia? I think Prestia is so injury prone, but I think, Jacob Hopper will be a top 3 mid at Richmond. He's underpriced. I think... I almost think he's a no-brainer, so he's locked in. Must look good in the preseason because he did struggle a bit this year, but I'm just going to attribute that to his injuries. I think it was knee or something like that. I have Ashcroft and then a bunch of rookies. Again, not really sure. Do we actually get the rookies? Whatever. Do we have to pay up? But yeah, Ashcroft is, I think he'll be the number 1 owned player in Supercoach. So pretty easy pick. So if you're not aware of Ashcroft, I think it's similar to the mould of Walsh and Dacos, similar numbers. I'm not sure if it was better, but yeah, massive junior numbers, and I think played in the VFL twice and got 90 plus both times for fantasy, so he can play. Yeah, all reports he's a superstar, young talent. We'll move to the ruck line. This is going to be interesting. So I'm running English and Marshall, so proven players. Tim English, I did tweet that he was never again. But I think with Gawn and Grundy, we'll see what that dynamic looks like. I think Gawn is out of the question just because he's more versatile than Grundy. So I suspect he's going to be overpriced and his role is going to be very, very iffy. So I don't think you can pick Max Gawn, although I still could see him being an upgrade target when he comes down. It just depends on how things go with Grundy. And yeah, Brodie Grundy, like what's going on? What's his ruck time going to look like? Like who's actually the number one ruck there? So I suspect like Gawn's still the better ruckman, but for the team, maybe Grundy's more suited to that role. So we'll see. Sean Darcy with Luke Jackson. I'm not writing Sean Darcy off. Potentially underpriced. I think he underperformed this year, but did play a few games with Meek. Is quite injury prone, and I think Luke Jackson's role is they don't want to tie him down to just a ruck role. So what is Luke Jackson's role? What does that mean for Sean Darcy? So that's one to monitor. But for now, Tim English, I think they got Lobb in the team. They can't play him forward. They got Jamara, they got Norton, they got Darcy, they got Bruce. I don't even know if he makes a team. Probably missing someone as well, I think. So I feel like there's just no room for him up forward. Well, they got Lobb as well, so they got no room for him forward. He has to play ruck, so that's his role. Role was secure, job security was secure, of course, and underpriced for what he can do. I fully expect to trade him out because he is a bit prone to knocks and stuff like that. So fully expect him to be a trade out, but the ruck's a bit of a shambles, I think, at the moment. And my R2 is Marshall, so I think they do have a up and coming ruck. I think it's Max Heath. I think they spoke about him a bit on Trade Radio, so we'll speak about that during the preseason and see if he threatens. Do they play two rucks? What does Ross Lyon do with Rowan? Is Campbell still on the list? I can't remember. So yeah, just if Rowan's not number one ruck, historically he scored okay with Ryder, but in 2022 specifically, he had a few tank scores when he played the dual ruck setup, but in years before that, he actually scored like not the worst. So we'll keep an eye on Rowan. Probably underpriced, didn't get a full preseason, and then a rookie, hopefully a 102, but we'll see. And then finally, the forward line. Forward line's interesting. I have four premiums here, I guess you can call them. So number one, no Bontempelli. I don't know if he's going to be a forward. I think it'll be very tight. Towards the end of the year, his mid-time was up, so I have a feeling he might lose it, but we'll see. And it'll be an interesting one to speak about, just because of he plays through injuries a lot. But he's Bont. If he's raring to go fully fit, more mid-time with no Dunkley, he can do 130 no problem. But just too many niggles here and there. So F1, Josh Dunkley now at Brisbane. Clear number 2 midfielder behind Lockie Neal. Do they push McGluggage out to a wing a bit more? Zorko's probably... Maybe they use Berry in the midfield as well. Zorko, I suspect, will play more half forward. Just injuries are catching up with him. So Josh Dunkley, pretty free, I think. 585k. Very happy to pay that. Should go 110 plus. I think he has 120 plus in him. In fact, I think he's actually got 130 plus in him, or 125 plus, but with Neil on the team, it is quite a crowded midfielder as well. Like Ashcroft, I'm sure they'll give him a lot of rotations in there too. So, just pretty safe top 6, probably top 2, top 3 forward at least. So, he's locked in. F2, I have Zach Butters. So, Butters and Rosie coming into their 5th year now. I think they've gone overseas. They're highly motivated, super talented. The mid-time should only improve, you would think. If you think Boakes comes back a little bit, Horn Francis should get a bit of rotations in there, and then they got Ollie Wines. Ollie Wines probably still the main man in there. But yeah, Zach Butters, durability is not great. I think it's just the knocks, and sometimes I guess they're a bit unlucky, but at the same time he's a very reckless player. So I think, I just think he's such a star talent, and I think he's got a little bit, a decent amount of upside. We didn't see that massive ceiling that we saw a few years ago, but I think he's still got that in him. So I'll start Zach Butters, I think. Next is Connor Rozee. I think Connor Rozee, assuming he does get forward status, almost a no-brainer. When he moved into the midfield, he had one game below 20 disposals, and that was, he hurt his knee mid-game, so they left him forward. Very consistent, super talented midfielder now. No chance he plays a lot forward, I think. So he's in for me. And then Tim Taranto, CBA should be up. 490k is not too bad. I think he'll be around the mark. Didn't have the best year. I think he had a few back issues this year as well. Played a bit forward. And yeah, I think he's going to be a frustrating one with his disposal, but I think he's the number one mid at Richmond, and we get him as a forward. He was a top 3 pick a few years ago. I think I want to say 6 years ago, something like that. So he's in. Toby McLean, I think he'll get forward status. Not sure. I know he should get mid status. Judging by the numbers, it looks like that's what he played in the VFL. But in the game he played, I think he played 1 or 2 games. I can't remember, but I think against Fremantle, when Libba was out, Bevo said that they'll throw McLean around the ball. That's what they did. No CBAs, but played him around the ball. So without the CBAs, you expect starting at half forward a lot. So hopefully that helps his case to be a forward. But yeah, big fan of McLean. He can do 105 plus one. He could even do 110, to be honest, with fully below mid-time. That's not going to happen at the Dogs, but for his price, I think he can, as long as he plays around the ball, I think he can do anywhere between 80 and 100. 100's probably a massive stretch, but you never know with Bevo and who gets what mid-time. Because he did do 110 a few years ago, but 2018, first 10 rounds, he did about 110. And then I think it was a combination of he copped a bad knock and Dunkley took his mid-time, and I think his average after that would have averaged out to the 90s or something like that, somewhere in there. And then just have a rookie. Not really sure. So yeah, that's what the team looks like. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed a bit of off-season content, and I'm not sure what we'll do over the next few weeks or month or so. There's not really much to talk about. Maybe speak on the draft a little bit, but I take pretty vague interest in the draft. Just a little bit in the top end I look at, so worry more about that in the preseason. So that's all from me. Let me know which players you're keen on starting, which players you're avoiding, all that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.